So I have posted a video once before about exchanging these dogs on The Walking Dead. There were some things I went over that I couldn't really show you guys because I didn't have the stuff to do it with. So I'm going to do that now. First thing before I do anything, I'm going to show y'all a couple little things like the daily tasks. And this is really for beginners or people that don't understand the dogs. So like you have your daily tasks. I don't do the one where you buy an animal in the shop, costs 600 rubies, and that's ridiculous. Just save them up from like the world events or something like that. So every day I do the other four, and basically when you upgrade the animal, you can see here, you just choose one that's level one, and you click here, and you can see after a certain level, like right now the front's 41, middle's 49, rear's 42. So you can kind of see those go up as you up the dog. So by the time it hits level 30, it's right much higher. So you do that every day as a daily task. And then also the animal skill where it says let your animal learn a skill and buy one. You can just go take the cow. Just keep a 3 skill cow. You'll just learn a skill on here. What I do is I lock 2 of them, so that way I know for a fact whatever one I buy is going to be the one that goes on there, so I can switch it around to a different one the next day because you can't train the same skill onto the dog or the cow or whatever you're training it onto. So I don't have any currently because I'm doing another skill right now, but I would go on here and just go to like the cavalry or the gun, just buy either one. Um, I have the cavalry on there already, I think. So you're spending 20 rubies, and then you would just train it on there. And you'll see, because you did that, you get 100 rubies, so technically you just made 80 rubies profit. Now, I had also talked about exchanging the stats multiplier by stats multiplier. I know some people batch exchange. I do not do that for the simple fact that when you click exchange and you go to batch exchange, it does not take the multiplier into account. So more times than not, when you batch exchange these dogs, you wind up with a really sucky multiplier. So I don't want that. So I start from scratch and do that. However, if you want to do the batch exchange, more power to you. You would just click whatever dogs you want to add into it and which skill level you want. So like if you want 13, 14, 15, whatever, you would hit that, hit confirm, and then it would batch exchange the dogs. Now, if you do the batch exchange, I would suggest the ones that you do not want in it, you do protect those dogs because it's going to include them all. So like I have my dogs protected. So you can't learn a skill on them, you can't upgrade a skill, and you can't exchange them without unprotecting them. So right here is protected, you just unprotect it, and then you can do whatever. And it will be included in the batch exchange. So like right now, I'm going to do this skill exchange where I'm exchanging the dogs to put the skill on it. I had mentioned that before, instead of using the locks. So you can see right now, my dogs are 12 skill. I have 1 green space, 1 space for a skill. So you're not going to want to sit here and do a 12 skill and an 11 skill dog and put this skill on the 11 skill dog, because then you might wind up with an 11 skill dog and you just screwed yourself out of your skill. Mine's a 300,000 ruby skill. I'm not going to sit there and take that chance. So what I did was keep this dog right here. I just kept upgrading it to where I wanted it, and the multiplier is not where I want it, but it's not terrible. So you can kind of see, if you look at this multiplier at 6.8, and the one I'm going to exchange it with is 6.6. I try to always exchange the dogs where they're a 0.2 difference in the multiplier. Generally, the multiplier goes up. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it stays the same. And just like with exchanging the dogs, there's no guarantee that you're actually going to get a higher skill level. I've lost so many gold dogs trying to get a higher skill level. It's ridiculous, but it does happen. So like when you're exchanging them, You can go here where it says skill number. I go by stats multiplier. That way when I go down here and start at the 3 skills, they start at the lowest one. So then I just hit exchange, click this. You'll need to come here to this skill number and put it on stats multiplier as well. So that way when you go down, you'll see them, it's 4.2. I just keep going till I find like a 4.3, and then I'll exchange it. I do exchange the 3 and the 3 skills, and then also the 3 and the 4 skills. I found more times than not exchanging one level difference will get me a higher skill dog, but again, no guarantee on that. So you can hit confirm. If you're not sure you selected the right dog, you can hit this preview button and click on the dog. It'll show you the multiplier. So you can see it's within the 0.2 difference. And then you just hit exchange. And once you've done that, you can view all, see what it's got. You can check the new animal as well. It'll show you the multiplier. In this case, it didn't really go up much. And again, you can't always say it's going to, because sometimes it doesn't. I don't do the exchange again. I just go back so I can get another low multiplier and do it that way. And again, I always start with the lowest skills and make my way up with the multipliers, so that way it gets a little bit higher. See, this one went to a 4.7 from a 4.2 and a 4.3, so that's actually really good. So then we'll just go back again. And I'll just keep doing that and make my way up until I get them where I want them. And unfortunately, this one's like a 5 skill, so let me see if I can find a 4 skill. Yeah. So these are kind of close together. Oh, hot dang, gave me a 7 skill. That's good. Sometimes it'll surprise you like that and give you a better skill set than you think. So that's always a nice surprise. Okay, now let me show you what I was talking about with the dogs. So I have this dog that I've gotten up to a 12 skill with the 6.6 multiplier. I'm going to exchange it with this one to get my speed skill on there, which I already bought. Now, what I did was on the Strongest Survivor, I bought the speed skill on the day where it was spend rubies. So I got points for spending those rubies, and today I'll get the points for actually putting the skill on the dog. So I'm going to need to go here and unprotect this dog. So that way I can exchange it. Okay, and I've already unprotected the other one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to learn the skill onto this dog. You can do it where if, like you say, you've got 3 skills you want to put on another dog, you can do it that way, because 2 of the skills you can lock for free and then just train the 3rd one. But again, I don't do that unless I have the green space, because if you've got a dog like my F1 dog, I don't exchange this one with anything but another 13 skill dog with all green skills. Because if I do it with anything else, it's a possibility it's going to lose one of those skills. And these things cost way too much for that. So it's got to be a 13 skill dog with all green skills. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll give you a higher skill dog. I haven't had that luck so far. So we're not going to bank on that. Okay. You got to make sure it's not in your formation either. So let me go take this back. So once it comes back, I can actually drop the dog and exchange it. And again, these are your daily tasks that you can get by doing this. That's why I'm waiting for that to come back. If you go out of this, you got to hit stats multiplier again. But basically, this is the best way to get a really, really good multiplier, because you have to work these dogs up from the get-go. I know some people are like, well, I don't pay attention to that with the little ones at 3 and 4 skills. But that's where you've really got to start working on them, because if you don't, by the time you've got them to a 7 or 8 skill, then the stats multiplier is at 4 point something, 5 point something. So you've basically just wasted all those dogs you exchanged. You might have got a higher skill dog, but the multiplier sucks. So you still got to sit here and exchange more dogs to get a better multiplier. That's the only way that multiplier changes, is by exchanging the dogs. So I always like to do it from the beginning. Okay, now we've got that dropped out. All right, so I am going to take my speed skill and I'm going to train it to this dog. And it doesn't matter about locking them because nothing else is on there. So you can see all the rest of them are green skills. There's 11 green skills on this. And then there is 1 green skill on the dog I'm on exchange with. So no matter what, there is 12 spaces on this dog, because you can see my other skills only adds up to 11. So I'm hoping it'll give me a 13 skill dog, but again, no guarantee. So here we go. And it did not give me a 13 skill dog, but it did keep all my skills. It always keeps the gold and purple skills. If you have some blue skills, it'll keep those as well. What I do with these skills, I always start like the troops and the damage dealer, the attack, all that stuff. I start with the blue skills because it just doesn't take as many rubies to get them on there. And at least you have the skill while you're saving up to upgrade them to the purple and the gold. Of course, you know the speed skills, you can't do that, so you got to sit there and exchange them when you get them. So this is what I do with the dogs. Again, if you have any further questions, you can ask, but this is really all that I can think of that I do with the dogs. It's really nothing special. It's just taking time and learning what you're doing and paying attention to it. All right, y'all, have a good day.